We are inspired by you. Thank you for joining our Creative Mamas community. Please give us a 5-star rating, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, support Creative Mamas Unplugged on Patreon to get your name in the credits, receive extra content, and earn some fun prizes. With this, we can keep creating, uplifting, and growing this incredible community together. We love you so much. Applause.
Be happy.
Happy. Happy.
Be happy, Mom. Be happy, Mommy.
Come on, keep your chin up.
Enjoy this time. Smile.
Smile, smile, my darling. Count your blessings.
Welcome to Creative Mamas Unplugged. We are your hosts. I'm Cherice, Barton.
And I'm Shelly, Hutchinson. Here at Creative Mamas Unplugged, we navigate the hell out of being creatives while raising humans with humor and heart.
We have honest conversations,
Hear wise words from fellow badass parents, and share hilarious stories from the front lines.
Listen, parenthood is one of the most creative, most difficult jobs in the world. You are not alone, and you deserve to be happy. Welcome back to Creative Mamas Unplugged, the space where we get real about what it means to be both wildly creative and deeply human, especially while navigating parenthood. Today, we are continuing our heartfelt conversation with the radiant Meg Sylvester, a multi-passionate creative, speaker, author, and soulful guide who's inspired thousands around the world through her retreats, events, storytelling, and signature sparkle. Meg reminds us that we don't have to do it all, and we definitely don't have to apologize for needing rest, support, or joy. She shares how letting go of the supermom role actually lights the path for others, and how her true confidence means showing up in our radiance, even if we didn't volunteer this week. Meg also drops some unforgettable wisdom. Accept the compliment, soften into it, savor it, and be more like Care Bears, because radiance, it's our superpower. Let's jump back in.
Yeah, when you look at kids playing on the playground, they're not like, what's the 5-step method to playing? You know? How do we ease into this, you know?
We're always talking about the responsibilities that we have as mothers, and then on top of it, our work, and on top of that, our personal time, and like how do you fit it all in? Does it ever feel overwhelming, or do you have a support system in place where you can just?
Yeah, it feels overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes I'm like not good at it. And sometimes I do spiral and I end up just like being in a very bad mood and just saying like, I need to just like rot in my bed for the day, you know? And I think that's okay. I do want to emphasize that I have a partner who is very supportive. And I recognize and acknowledge that not everyone has that support built into their home. It took a long time for me to get to a point. So me and my husband we will have been married for 18 years this coming October. And it took me a very long time to get to a point where I didn't feel like I had to justify or validate or earn my need for rest or separation or alone time. I always felt like if he walked into a room, I had to get up off the couch and like act like I was doing something. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I'm like, no, I am allowed to rest and to state my needs just because like I don't have to justify or validate that I'm tired and that I need to go for a walk. And neither does he. But again, it took me like years to like get to that point to realize that. And so, but we don't have any family here. Like our closest family is a 5-hour flight. So we don't have that. We have each other and we speak our needs. But I think one thing that has helped me, which is going to sound weird, is I have taken the pressure off of myself to find balance in the everyday. And I feel like there is a lot of pressure around balance and to make sure that your day is balanced. But for me, what I have found is instead of trying to find balance in the micro, it's to balance in the macro So I allow myself to have seasons where I'm just going all in and I am throwing balance out the window during that day. And that is how I work better. So I've relieved that pressure of like, oh no, balance, balance, balance. And instead, like, I know like, okay, this week I'm just like going all in, I'm going hardcore and I'm working on a manuscript right now for a book. So that's why I keep using writing, but, or like I'm teaching classes and this is a season where I'm going all in. And I know eventually before I hit burnout, I'm going to take some days and do a lot of resting. And my resting periods can be weeks or a month, instead of putting that pressure on myself to find that perfect balance day in, day out, day in, day out. For some people, that is the key, the daily balance. For me, it's not. It just feels like another unrealistic standard that I have to meet for myself. But I'm not that type of energy. So I think it's about really finally attuning to the way you feel best and how you input, output your energy. And does it feel good to go all in and then to come and rest for a little bit? Or does it feel better to have the daily balance? And you have to go in and see within yourself.
Beautifully said.
Yeah. Weird to think about how like even some of these things that seem like they're really supportive, like balance.
Right.
Balance is not a bad word, but it can turn into pressure when the accepted narrative isn't the one that matches your unique energetic signature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just had this vision of like in December, I always am like, well, the kids have a million cavities because you eat candy canes for it's not going to kill anyone. Like,
right.
And it's it's that theory of, I feel like if that works and it brings some joy or it brings some sort of satisfaction for 30 days, and then you take some time to, rebalance, I guess it really is individual, right? Like, and that's what you really have to seek within and see what works best for you. It's similar to like the parenting styles that we always talk about on here, which is like these books and things that are always given to us to say, sleep train this way and feed your kids this way. It really is about looking within, trial and error, and figuring out what works best for you. And that's what you're saying is the daily balance might actually wreck you.
Right. It might stifle your energy. Or it might be the perfect thing. And something else that I've gotten really good at is prioritizing, all the stuff that's coming in, emails from school, like work stuff, just all the things, and saying, how important is this? Can I just not? Whereas I used to want to prove to everyone that I was like A+, like give me the gold star. I'm going to be the one that volunteers. I'm going to be the teacher at the yoga studio that subs for every person. And I'm going to show up and I'm going to save the day. Now I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't have to say yes to every single thing. I can say yes to the things that light me up, and I can leave space on my calendar, and I do not have to prove myself by being the superhero. I don't. And like, birthday parties, like we don't go to every birthday party. I'm not volunteering at every single thing at the school. I'm just not. Where for other people, it brings them insane amounts of joy. Does not for me.
It does until it doesn't.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And then you reevaluate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I relate to that. I mean, for me, and I left a message for Shelly and Jessica this morning saying, ooh, I can tell when I start getting tired, when I start getting a little run down, all of my defects of character start to come up. A lot of it is, for me, it's perfectionism, people pleasing. So I really relate to that because I think for a long time, I wanted to be the A+ in every aspect of my life. And it killed me. And so I've learned boundaries, and boundaries are very, very hard for me, but it's so important. And I still, to this day, every time I get the email from the school asking for volunteers, when I say no, I still have that little pang of guilt. I'm like, I really should be doing it. But I'm like, no, I am a single mom. I've got so much on my plate, but it's still hard. I mean, I'm
yeah. And you know what else is hard is when you're the mom who doesn't volunteer, and then to show up in your confidence and in your radiance and not feel like you have to apologize or disclaim for why you didn't. And oh, I'm sorry, I have so much on my plate, I'm so busy. No, we don't have to do that, because the truth of the matter is there are some people who love doing that stuff. And so it's a village in the most macro way possible. And we all have our design and our what lights us up. And if we just stay committed, to moving in the path that is the most lit up for us, then we give others permission in the space to get into their path. It's hard to not show up and oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And with the kids too, it's the same thing. They know I'm a better mom when I show up 100% me.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah.
They want that.
Yeah, they want that.
This is all such great stuff.
Yeah.
And seeing you so calmly talk about it is just so inspiring, because I feel like it's just, even hearing you talk about it seems much like what some people might experience in meditation. I wouldn't know because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But you said you're a runner?
Well, I wouldn't consider myself a runner, but I do run. Yeah. Yes, I do.
Running is a meditation. Meditation doesn't have to look like sitting with your legs crossed. It can, you can meditate while you're washing the dishes or going for a run or dancing or painting. Meditation is dropping into this zone where time no longer exists and you're in your body and you're able to just kind of witness your thoughts instead of being swept up in them. Meditation isn't necessarily silencing the mind. It's witnessing the mind.
Ooh.
So do it while you're running.
I like that.
Yeah.
Witnessing the mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good.
There you go.
There you go.
Observing the thoughts.
Yeah. I'm just all about how can we meet and question these ingrained ideas, beliefs, conditionings, expectations, and say well, that doesn't really work for me and that doesn't feel true for me. And it feels like this is trying to pathologize my inherent nature. And I don't accept that. So how can I meet and dialogue with whatever it is that I feel like I'm pushing up against and make it work for me? Because this is my life. And the rules and the conditioning are all created by people.
I totally agree with you on that. And I have a really hard time with some of these people coming out and telling everybody what to do all the time. I have a really hard time with it because the way I see it is it makes me feel like we're all this, we're human. We're all human. We're all, these are people telling other people what to do. It just seems very, again,
dogmatic.
Yeah. It seems wrong.
Yeah. We're all so nuanced and
we're all so nuanced,
complex and
yes. So I really, and I guess that's what I was trying to sort of verbalize when I was saying, hearing you speak so calmly about it, is that the way that you're speaking about it doesn't feel like you're barking at everyone and telling everyone what to do. You are literally walking the walk, and it seems that you're just here to hold the space for people who want to join you in doing that.
Thank you.
And I'm really just on a personal note, I'm really resonating with what you're saying in such a very spiritual, energetic way. I really like you, and I really like how you are making me feel right now.
Thank you.
And we don't have to put this in the pot if it's too intimate, but I
love it.
feel I get why you have had 50 trips this so far, because the way you're making me feel right now is just very connected to myself, to what you're saying. It doesn't feel like you're telling me what to do in a way that I often feel like I get from some of this marketing stuff, all that's out there, and telling people how to talk and how to do and how to be. And I just kind of always felt like you're another person telling another person.
Right.
Feels wrong. I don't know why I'm listening to you, and not in a bad way. Good for them, man. Make all the money and do all the things. It just never resonated with me. And I always kind of felt like, why doesn't this hit me? It's not some of these big wigs, I'm not feeling the way other people are down with it. Yeah. And I feel like it's because I don't like it when someone's telling me what I need to be doing, because I really know that it's really lies with, I got to look deep. I got to dig deep. I got to look deep, and I got to keep doing that. I got to shed. And I think that's part of the work. But also what you're saying is pleasure. Yeah. Find the pleasure in the day to day.
In the day to day. Yeah. I, like I shared before, when I first started, I left a corporate career and started my own business to support other women. And when I first started out, it was very much like, what's the template? What's the plan? Here you go. Here are the answers. Let me answer every question for you. And then I was like, I actually don't know. Like, and the more that I grew and the more that I started, the more I was supporting people, the more I realized I don't know. Like I actually don't have all the answers. And I especially don't have all the answers for every single person. It's impossible, and that's where I started making the shift into seeing myself as like, well, what if I just become the permission slip? And what if I just become the mirror? And what if I just become someone who lives an inspiring life and inspires others to do the same? And I will say it's a little bit harder to build a business on that than it is to be someone who has all the answers. But, I just trust and I keep showing up. And I think that's why I'm so drawn to the retreats, is because of who I am and what I'm trying to do for people. Like, it makes the most sense for me to deliver my essence, the most impactful, purposeful way for me to deliver what is wanting to move through me.
Amazing.
It's funny because I was at a school event yesterday, a year-end thing, and one of the moms came up to me and she was talking to me because she's been listening to our podcast.
Oh, yay.
So I said, oh my gosh, I'm glad that you're listening to it. And I said, I find that via the podcast, it's my woman tribe, and not just the women, the men too, but this podcast has brought a lot of women into my life, and really wonderful, wonderful, wonderful women. And so I was telling her that, and she said, yeah, and it's like free therapy every time. And
That's so
it's
great.
true. It's actually, I never thought of it that way. Like every time we have someone like you on, I leave and I can pause and I can reflect, and I'm just so honored. We're so honored to have you with us today, Meg.
Thank you.
Truly.
So
And
fun to talk to you guys.
I look forward to more.
Yeah. I feel like we've been like best friends for years. Like,
I know. It's true. And I'll see you in person in January, right?
yeah.
It's awesome. How fun.
Yeah. Yay. So exciting. Yeah. And what's coming through really strongly right now that I want to leave everyone with is I want to invite you all to get really, really good at accepting compliments and to just receive. We are so conditioned to be, self-deprecating and to shrug it off and to belittle or not own fully the beauty someone is trying to mirror to us. And it's such an insult to our soul. And it's also, when someone gives us a compliment, they're like, it's a little gift. And then we're just throwing it back in their face. And life is so much fun when you start really, really receiving it and letting yourself be giddy over the joy someone just gave you. And so it's a great first starting place, is just starting to notice your comfort level with compliments and just notice it. And then just ask yourself if you can soften and receive, and then receive and indulge and savor it. And so just want to leave you with that.
Yeah, be giddy about the things worth being giddy about.
Yeah, the joy that life is handing you through, beautiful strangers, friends, people. Just receive it.
So I shouldn't have been paranoid in Trader Joe's then.
No, you're like, oh my God, I know. I know.
The best part about that story is you walked in with no makeup. Like, I feel like when I want to feel good, the first thing I'm going to do is let me be,
Yeah.
You are attracting so much just by your essence.
Yeah. Your essence and your radiance is so much more powerful than makeup. I mean, I love makeup. I love it. but your radiance is the most powerful thing. And it's, it starts with like accepting yourself and believing in it. I always like have the visual of like the Care Bears, like ding, like shooting the Care Bear stare out from you.
Oh my God.
Julie used that same reference at one point when
it's so funny. She just
Care Bear just psh.
Yeah,
such a beautiful. It's true. I'm gonna be a Care Bear today.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah.
Creative Mamas Unplugged is produced by Breatheasy Productions with music by Jeremy Jurin. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to give my mama 5 stars and keep coming back. Thanks to us kids, there are plenty of stories to tell. And you are not alone. Bye for now.